Well, welcome everybody. It's great to see you all here. I'm Jonathan Fuchs. I direct the Center for Learning and Innovation at the San Francisco Department of Public Health, and I direct the mentoring program for the UCSF Gladstone Center for AIDS Research, or CFAR. And along with the AIDS Research Institute and the Global Health Sciences program, which are co-sponsoring this event, I want to thank them and thank you all for being here. Very excited to feature our program on crowdfunding, promises, and pitfalls. So a little bit about the CFAR mentoring program. We're in our 10th year. It's amazing that this program now is 10 years old, and it focuses on supporting early stage investigators at the postdoctoral level as well as early assistant professor level. And in the back of your brochures, you can read a little bit more about the CFAR mentoring program. Some key features of the program is we match mentees, or early career investigators, with senior mentors. We hold a series of professional development workshops. We have a symposium, a mentoring symposium, where we feature a number of our young investigators, and this will be a shameless plug. As you can see over here, there's a poster describing that event, and I welcome you all to attend. That's on April 18th from 8 to 12 at Gladstone, so please come to that. It's always a great event. We also hold a leadership retreat, and then we facilitate a mini grant review process for our young investigators. We also look for multiple opportunities to network, provide networking opportunities for you, for our investigators. And we've partnered with JFAR, the Junior Faculty of AIDS Research here at UCSF. Satish Pillai, who you'll meet momentarily, leads that effort, and this is really what brought us here together, is the kind of the vein, in that vein, why we're here today, looking at our junior faculty and a need that they've had to look for alternative sources of funding to support their research, clearly in the setting of constrained resources from the federal government. I think our young investigators and our investigators more generally are looking for alternative sources of support for their novel research. We are very excited to be able to bring this really wonderful panel together to address issues about how to get started with crowdfunding. What's the potential for this? What's happening here at UCSF and with some of the other partners who have really spearheaded this field. And it's an exciting one, and one that we're really looking forward to delving into in our program. So just briefly about the program, Satish will join us in a moment and introduce our speakers. Each of them will have about 10 minutes to share some of their experience and experience of the different programs that they're a part of. We'll then have a moderated panel discussion and then an open Q&A. We have a microphone, so as I mentioned, this session is being recorded, so we'll make sure if you do have questions to take the microphone and share them, so we'll be able to capture that on the video and audio. So without further ado, Satish, thanks so much.
Thanks, Jonathan. So as Jonathan mentioned, we run sort of complementary dog and pony shows, I think. So the CFAR mentorship program is more focused on people who are generally at the postdoctoral phase, who are trying to climb the ladder to gain their first faculty positions, which and a huge part of that challenge is getting your first major grant award to allow you to propel those individuals to their first faculty position. And JFAR is more focused on, on early stage faculty, so assistant professors who are generally making the transition from K awards to their first R awards, which in this era of very bleak federal funding is getting more and more challenging. And one reason why I was very interested in crowdfunding is I think a lot of junior investigators have a salary gap between what their career development awards will provide and what their allowable salary level is. And because of umpteen restrictions that the NIH imposes on how you can obtain your salary, you can't close that salary gap using federal dollars. So I think crowdsourcing could be a very good way to close that gap and also generate funding for pilot research to generate preliminary data for an R01. So with that, I'm going to skip right to introducing our speakers. So as you can tell, this is not Cindy Wu right here. Oscar was kind enough to fill in for Cindy at the last moment, and I really, really enjoy Oscar's bio. So here's Oscar's bio. I've spent the better part of the last 3 years trying to glue broken bones back together, which I'd love to hear more about this experience. In 2012, Oscar took a break from work in the bioadhesives lab to do something more computational, which turned out to be a slippery slope, and he quickly found himself taking a leave of absence from grad school to join Experiment, which at that point was known as MicroRISA. A year later, Oscar is here. So thanks for joining us, Oscar. Then I'll introduce Daniel. So Daniel Scarpelli, sitting over here to my right, is a fundraising professional with a focus on building donor pipelines and leveraging technology to support fundraising campaigns. Most recently, he served as a senior director of annual and special giving at UCSF, where he partnered with the Office of Innovation, Technology, and Alliances to bring crowdfunding to the UCSF campus. Unfortunately for us at UCSF, on April 1st, Daniel will continue his career at the Trust for Public Land as the Philanthropy Operations Director. So congratulations on your new gig, and it's sad that you'll be leaving the UCSF community. And then thirdly, we have Michael Greenberg, who is the Senior Executive Vice President and co-founder of ScaleFunder, which is the market-leading higher education crowdfunding platform. Before ScaleFunder's acquisition by Ruffalo Cody, am I pronouncing that correctly, in 2014, Michael was the founding CEO of ScaleFunder. And prior to founding ScaleFunder, Michael was the Director of Innovation at UCLA, where his primary focus centered on bolstering UCLA's role in the LA technology ecosystem. He is also the co-founder of UCLA's first student technology accelerator, Startup UCLA. Michael received a BS in physics with honors from Loyola University. And with that, I think each one of you guys are going to present, maybe for about 10 minutes just to introduce yourselves and what your respective roles are within the crowdfunding community. So I think we'll kick things off with Oscar. Thank you.